Hey, it's me. Hello, hello. We're at the epilogues. OMG. Hello. Holy hype. We're here. We're here. Sick, but staying up for it. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. A lot of people where I'm at getting sick, actually. Yippee indeed. Yippee indeed. Um, this is like a quick thing that's like not Homestuck related real swift. Oh, is it double audio? I think I fixed it. Okay, okay. I was showing somebody. I was showing somebody something at work on my home computer, and I broke something, and I forgot to fix it. Okay, I remoted into my computer from my phone and pushed the wrong buttons. Yeah, and then okay, yeah, do something a little different. Oh my god, background noise. Yeah, okay. Okay, now quick non-Homestuck rant to start with. Tangent is something about like Chainsaw Man real quick. I like Chainsaw Man, and they Fujimoto, the author, is doing something doing something kind of interesting. With the concept of people unable to die that other people don't really talk about as much, or I haven't seen, and it's I want man, what's the best way to say it? So people can't die, and the way he's handling it, one of the big fears, one of the big things he throws in is the idea of what happens to creatures whose like existence is based like conception to start is based on like the amount of what would it be called, like the offspring dying, right? Like turtles is like a weird example. A lot of turtles are expected to die when they're born, but if they can't die, then it just becomes like an overpopulation of those, and they just would a ton would come out. But he does it with the idea of like insects, and the insects are interesting. So it just becomes a world full of insects that just eat, and destroy because of that. I just wanted to mention that real quick. I thought it was really cool. And I'm a little okay. I just need to get that out of my system quickly. OMG. It is the evening. It is the evening, and ooh, I can see sunlight today. Wow. Not used to that this time. Nearly had to watch the stream on my mobile because I couldn't find the keyboard. I am very normal about this. Right on time indeed. And here we go. OMG. And I have seen like this image quickly, and looks like they're copying the AO3 look. I've been spoiled on a lot of this, but I was spoiled a lot on Homestuck itself, and I still enjoyed it. That's like that concept of being spoiled on something and still enjoying it is kind of how like movie trailers work. That's why watching a movie trailer can actually improve your reaction to a movie. Okay. Rating mature, category FF, female, male, multi, other, Homestuck, characters. Wow, they're really going for the. Was this like a? Was this released on AO3 or they just copy AO3? Because I do. That's my goat right there. Right. That is my goat, right? This is all copied on AO3 and not on AO3. Okay, okay. That's my. Where's it at? Where's it at? I can't find Homestuck. Oh my gosh. Homestuck Tumblr works. The content warning fire classic. Yes. Oh my god. That's Homestuck's goated. So that in particular has me somewhat more excited for the epilogues. Is seeing because I never looked at how to pronounce their name actually. Cepheid variable is what I was saying, right? This has me interested because I really enjoyed Homestuck. Homestuck was really enjoyable. Yeah, I am also starting their one of their other like stories. I think it's called Hero Bound. That's what I'm starting here on my own time. That one also is catching my eye. My mind. I think that one's by all three of these people again. Themes and all. Okay. I guess I'll read everything on here because it's technically part of it. So many contributors to this. It's a project built on the love of the Homestuck. Oh, love of Homestuck for many. Okay. It's not canon. It's a fan fiction written by Hussie, Cepheid, and is that how you pronounce that? Or is it just like an autocorrect? But okay, so it's not. If it's not canon, it's still technically like official though, right? Because it's like an official continuation if it's insinuated in certain things. Post Homestuck 1 canon, but it's canon to us the readers. Well, it's dubiously canon. Okay. Well, let's read everything on it. Characters: John Egbert, Rose Lalonde, Dave Schrader, Jade Harley, Jane Crocker, Roxy Lalonde, Jake English, Dirk Strider, Barack Obama. Okay. Aradia. I still haven't figured out how to pronounce that name. Tavros Nitram, Solux Captor, Karkat Vantis, Kanaya Miriam, Jersey Pyro, Brisca Circuit. That's my goat. Gamesy Makara. Obama slash reference. Doobie's canon is kind of like the shield kept from this from being overhated. It's canon as in a sequel, but it's dubiously canon to the universe before they went through the door. These acts seem like jokes, and they are, but everything they say will happen. I already said this, but I don't care how canon this is. I just want a good story. God damn it. That's kind of like everything, though. Erden Empora, Faferi, Arena, Circuit, Arania, Mina Pisces, Dave Pettis Sprite, Squared, low key, my least favorite character in the series, Calliope, Caliborn, Lord English, original male characters, original female characters. Smile. I think this is fine, and it gets better on reread. It's one possibility that could happen. All that matters is when you pick the book and you start reading, the canon present to you. LOL, regardless of canonical labels. Yes, yeah. Content warnings. Rape, non-con, dubious consent, chronic illness, graphic depictions of violence, major character death, suicide, child abuse. Can you say these terms on YouTube? That's too late now. Sexual abuse, domestic abuse, age difference, pedophilia, white supremacy, prison camps, genocide, transphobia, misgendering, mind control, mind break, bad ending, misgendering. Oh, interesting. Unhealthy relationship, sexual harassment, breastfeeding, breast milk, milking, misogyny, sexism, toxic masculinity, alternate universe, canon compliance, canon divergent redemption. Yeah, fuck it. You probably get a warning if so. Well, I find it's a book to let you know. World War, political intrigue, rough sex, light BDSM, black romance, child neglect, daddy, I guess, yeah, bad parenting, addiction, alcohol use, drug use, death, murder, incestuous undertones, polyamory, cuckolding, infidelity, gender transition, I was mentioning something about this, about Homestuck in a way. I was asking a friend if any characters are gonna turn out to be trans from mostly just because how Hussie does certain things. I was kind of interested if he was gonna do that in the main story itself, and I was somewhat surprised it didn't happen. But I guess because I don't know how Hussie's timeline goes in his personal thing or whatever, so I was curious on what he was gonna do if they were gonna do anything with it. In the Homestuck story, non-binary characters, identity questioning, detransitioning, mental illness, depression, existential crisis, speciesism, xenophobia. Who would? Please don't murder my characters. Xenophobia, pregnancy, babies, bimbification, slut-shaming, gore, blood, body horror, fascism, political rebellion, assassination, furry, anthropomorphic characters, alien biology, ovipositioning, capitalism, propaganda, super PACs, revolutionary rhetoric, self-sacrifice, friends to lovers, power imbalances, manipulation. Homestuck help trans my gender, which is pretty cool. Okay. Abuse, diapers, possession, starvation, interspecies relationships, xenophilia, vor, vomit, drugging, cannibalism. Pika? I actually don't know. I don't know this one. APAC's Political Action Committee. So a big one of those is where they collect tons of donations and contribute to a political campaign legally. The diapers one's always baffled me. Vor? I don't know what this is. This is the one that's confusing to me. Learn something new every day. Bimbofication? Who? Because a cat eating clothes things, eating stuff he shouldn't is an animal disease, if you remember correctly. Because eating inedible things. Oh, okay. Additional tags: the economy, robots, meta, fridging, honk, marriage, beat, clown, dynamics, children, funerals, religion. Humans sometimes have it as well. I learned about Pika because of Binding of Isaac. LOL. Eating, food, aliens, theft, trickster mode, reality television, gerrymandering, rapping, guns, eggs, kidnapping, Fago, poisoning, teenagers, ghosts, early 20th century dance movements, clowns. Early 20th century? Is that just gonna be the Charleston? Is that all they're gonna reference? I feel like that's all they're gonna do. I can't think of one other thing they try. 10 years after languages, English. Summary: 10 years after their adventure began, the heroes are enjoying a well-earned retirement on Earth C. But John still has one last choice to make. Like I said, everything. Oh, hey, yeah, okay. This is how I would have Okay, I like this. I like this a lot now. A lot more. Prologue. Dang. I guess. Yeah, I just clicked the prologue. Let's get into this. Oh, like an actual. Okay. Oh, I'm at the zoom in for this. This text is really small for me. Okay. Okay. Dang. Okay, I need to clean my glasses fully. Give me what? I need one moment. Okay, my glass is a little better now. Humans, like I said, everything will happen. Here we go. I'm also cleaning my glasses. Dinner transitioning will happen to characters. Some may surprise you. Others won't. Maybe. Law. We'll see. Okay. Prologue. This should... I want to zoom in more. The font's not the best to be legible. This should be fine for me. Oh. I'm a reread lines on accident like I always do. I guess that's... No, actually. If I throw this up there, it's easier for me to see chat up here. Nah, it'll be fine. I like the top bar. It starts with a crack. Everything else rises up from that like steam. A trembling thread that cuts through space in jagged lines, splintering the void into razor-sharp shards of putrefying leptons and quarks popping apart like raw eggs in a microwave. It's coming undone at a subatomic level, from the bottom up, from the inside out. From the top down, it looks like the eye of a storm, a black hole so supermassive that it spans the width of eternity. It turns infinity into something as thin and fragile as cellophane, shreds it of its dimensions, a piece of paper pinched together at either end, a hole poked through. At the center, at the center of that hole, the edges can be heard fraying, pandemonium as continuity buckles in the middle and the two ends come smashing together. Around the hole, ghosts scream. They claw at the dying borders of their dreams and fingernail chipping desperation. They whip together like the wind, trailing the mutilated streaks of their hypothetical futures with them. It's a multifractal neon cyclone of primordial conclusion, a churning blender of final, catastrophically terminal, overwhelmingly permanent double death. The screaming distorts and the plunges low as it gets closer to the cavity. At the center, that distortion turns into an eerie music. That's where the cacophony ends. The shattering, the screaming, the squelching, the sounds of elemental particles being torn apart like string cheese shoved through a meat grinder, then dumped down a strangely melodious garbage disposal. It all returns to the same tonic dominant, matching pitch and tone, ironing out the rebellious flats and sharps until the discordance becomes exquisite, a subharmonic symphony that can only be heard in the bones. At the dead center of the event, it is extremely quiet, a silence made of all the suffering that limitless serendipity can hold, bleeding together until the prism turns to obsidian. It's too vast to comprehend, too black to behold without closing your eyes. Retreating to the back of your own eyelids is to seek the comfort of a familiar darkness. It is to reject an absolute tenebrosity. I'm actually gonna look this word up. This word has me like interested. Tenebrosity. The quality of being dark or shadow. That's it. Okay. So perfectly alien. It threatens to rip the humanity right through your eye sockets. This is the end of everything. This is the end of Paradox Space. You wake up. Okay. Your name is John Egberts, and you have just had a terrible, deeply pretentious nightmare. You snap out of bed, soaked in sweat, your heart hammering like a fire alarm. It is just as you feared. You've been dreaming in anime again, and you have no idea what it could mean. Damn. subconsciously yearning. No, no. Originally this was going to be a manga, but Viz Media said no. Dang. Oh, I forget they were like with Fizz. I forget about that. Homestuck 2 might have also been a manga along with it. If you're gonna take away the visuals like comic, you better have some damn good prose. Or just have like the worst possible and just no. John Egbert, your mind yearns. Look outside just to make absolutely sure the world is not ending. The sun is coming in through your window in bars of soft yellow. The only sound you can hear for miles is the wind skimming the hollows of your neighbor's pipe homes. It's a normal day in the Salamander Village, which you refer to as Salamander Village because the damned salamanders never bothered to give this village a name, you guess. Absolutely nothing of note has ever happened here in the entire history of the planet, which you would know because you created it. Oh, what's a yummy prose? Besides your pillow, your phone is vibrating. Rose is calling. The screen of your phone reads 9:30 a.m., April 13th, and also the number 46, which is how many text messages your friends left you while you were sleeping. A bit excessive, even for her. When you're getting this many, something's wrong completely. Answer the phone. Okay. Since when are you known to operate your telephone? That's a mood.
Since, I don't know. Has it really been that long since I called?
I can't remember the last time.
Neither can I. Anyway, what's up?
First of all, happy birthday.
Oh yeah, thanks. Fuck, I forgot.
Am I correct in presuming this April 13th will be as uneventful as the last?
Yeah, I don't want to do anything this year. I hope that's okay.
Of course it is. It is your birthday after all.
Rose?
Yes. John. You wander to the window and watch the salamanders go about their day. All over the neighborhood, the little dad salamanders are putting on their little rumpled hats and picking up their little suitcases and kissing their little families goodbye for the day. You've always been confused about what exactly they contribute to the global economy. But it's pretty cute how much they love playing at being suburban businessmen. The silence over the phone is growing awkward. You've stalled long enough. You decide to just come out and say it.
I've been dreaming in anime again lately. I have no idea what it could mean.
I see. The dad salamander job is classified.
It's horrible every time. I don't mean because anime is bad or anything. It's not that. Whenever I have these dreams, everything's breaking apart. Millions of people are screaming and dying. I mean, dying permanently. Not the kind of bullshit dying that we've been doing a lot over the years.
A couple yards over, a salamander bows, an astonishing spit bubble. Truly one for the books. Your eyes trace its meandering journey into the sky as you gather your thoughts. Salamanders as your neighbor sounds cute. It's better than having those like fucking. Were they just dragons? Whatever the knack things were, man. Were they just? Those things would suck as neighbors.
What do you think it all means?
What do I think what means?
What do you think it means that I've been dreaming in anime?
I don't have the slightest idea what it means that you've been dreaming in anime, John. To be honest, Crocodiles. Oh, poor John. No wonder he's shying away from social interactions. Crocodiles. I don't know what their names either. Crocodiles or alligators. We've come so far. We have. Knack. All I think about is knack. Whenever I think about those guys, that's all they say. But I love them for it. Salamanders get carried because they have Casey, and that's about it. Without Casey, salamanders kind of be low tiers. You wait for Rose to finish her thought. She doesn't, which is troubling because you have never known Rose to leave a thought unfinished in over 10 years of acquaintance. You suppose it's possible it may have happened one of the times she died. You wouldn't bet on it, though.
Rose, are you okay?
Not exactly.
What's wrong?
I think my condition's been getting worse lately.
Condition?
It's why my message probably sounded urgent.
You left 46 messages.
Yes, they were all urgent.
Oh.
I'm wondering if this is the right after John gets the call from Caliborn in the credits. This is leading up to it. Who knows? If it even continues directly after that. I guess, y'all know. I don't know.
I held out for as long as I could.
Oh, I don't think I can wait much longer before telling you. I held out for as long as I could. I figured your birthday was as good as a time as any to let you know.
Let me know what?
It's crept up on me these last couple of years. Gradually enough to ignore as it was happening, but I can't anymore. Lately, the visions have been overwhelming.
Visions?
I don't know either. John, I have terrible headaches these days. Talking on the phone doesn't help at all. Would you mind flying to my apartment so we can continue this in person?
Oh yeah. You mean now?
Yes, now is the time. I've put it off long enough. 5G, am I right? Hard to say, but that does happen after the Jane Moon incident laser with the felt. We have art. You move the phone away from your ear and assume an expression you haven't practiced in years. It is the look of a man who actually has something to do. Holding the phone directly in front of your face, you speak into the receiver.
Okay, I'm on my way. Bye, Rose.
As you hang up the phone, a familiar feeling settles over you. A feeling of standing and being alone in your bedroom as a young man on your birthday. You swear you felt this feeling before. It's almost like a young man stands alone in his bedroom. It just so happens that today, the 13th of April, is this young man's birthday. Though it was 23 years ago when he was given life, and 10 years ago when he was given a name. It feels like it is only today that he will begin to understand what that means. That young man is you, John Egbert. What will you do? That's pretty good. Ooh, I like how this is wording things. I have certain thoughts on what I wanted to share on I want to say later. Yeah, later. And it involves and this kind of helps me. Helps me think it's that's a bad way to say it. I just feel like it's a semi-right direction on what I was saying on certain things. So it's 2029. 2029. Let's stop 2021, I think. The year is 2020, 2019 in universe. Wow. Oh, this is COVID time then. No. Genuinely don't know. When you arrive at Rose's apartment, you find her asleep on the couch. You slide the balcony door open quietly.
Rose.
So John's 23. Hold on, I want to think. What was I doing when I was 23? When I was 23. Actually 23 was 23 was actually probably the worst years of my life, actually. Damn, John. I pray for you. Her eyes flutter open. She looks like a ghost. Not the kind of ghost that looks and acts exactly like an alive person. Generally don't know. They probably don't keep time like that because they fast forward the whole planet and had to restart civilization. How long have I been sleeping?
I don't know. I just got here. Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
That looks like a lot of pills you're taking there.
Yeah, it's not what you're thinking though.
What am I thinking?
These are controlled substances that have been prescribed by a legitimate doctor to ease the symptoms of my condition. I am using them only as instructed,
Okay.
so there's nothing to worry about.
But you said you have a condition. Isn't that bad?
If I remember correctly, 5,000 years, they skipped ahead to let civilization develop after making the kingdoms and credit snaps, or 500. Would have been funny if, like, everything was just doomed after that. Everything was just gone. They come back to nothing. Had to restart. You watch her rise in the stages. Her arms trembling where she's bracing it on the couch. Oh yes, the condition itself is not ideal, obviously. Perhaps it does constitute something to worry about. In the context of a different conversation, all I'm trying to say is, I'm not backsliding, if that's what you're wondering. You've spent several pregnant moments saying nothing at all in response to this. You examine Rose's supine, languid form on the couch. Languid form on the couch. Optimistic that she will continue speaking any moments now. I struggle with substance abuse for a while. Years ago, remember?
Rose? Jesus. I wasn't going to accuse you of being a drug addict. I didn't fly over here to give you an intervention. It sounded like you had some important stuff to tell me, and the fact that you also seem to be sick is more than a little alarming.
I wouldn't say I'm sick. Just having spectacularly debilitating headaches as a result of my visions becoming more frequent.
Oh yeah? What are these visions you're having?
I'm a seer of light, John.
I know. So you mean like your standard psychic visions about the future and stuff? What's going to happen? Should we be worried?
It doesn't technically pertain to the future. Well, not our future. My abilities have broadened considerably beyond their previous horizon. They shed light on many unseen events, past, present, future, in realities and frames of reference that have no intersection with ours at all. It seems to be an unfortunate side effect of God-tier abilities. They can advance at a rate beyond one's physical ability to keep up with. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to be happening to anyone other than me.
Yeah, can't say I've noticed anything like that, or improvement in my powers for that matter.
It's not about gaining additional powers, so much as the gradual dissolving of the boundaries between your own awareness and that of your many doomed selves who perish in other timelines. It's a slow and apparently rather uncomfortable accretion of knowledge. Perhaps I'm the only one to notice any change since my aspect explicitly relates to knowledge.
I guess that all makes sense. So what are these visions showing you?
Many things. They're quite disjointed and sometimes hard to rearrange into coherence. But in totality, I have pieced together a greater understanding of our present situation and all events that led us here. Oh, that's probably why some of the discourse popped up. They mashed the skip button instead of overseeing the planet like they were supposed to. You watched Rose stagger to her feet and cross the apartment. The kitchenette. She knocks back another pill with a practiced motion. No water. Her vacant stare drills into the countertop as she quietly waits for the medication to take effect. Being a seer, it's gotta be rough sometimes, not gonna lie. Being any human in Homestuck, being anyone in Homestuck. Besides Casey, probably. Casey probably hasn't made.
And
what?
What is it about our situation that you wanted to tell me? Is it bad?
Good and bad are words that don't really mean anything beyond a certain threshold of mortal consideration. There's a different scale I've come to understand. Another dichotomy that's less emotional, I guess. Consider, instead of the word good, using the word essential. and what exists at the opposite polarity from essential is something that is best not to contemplate.
What are you talking about? This sounds fucked up.
Yes, that sounds like a reaction you would definitely have to the things I'm telling you. I really should cut it out and just start from the beginning. You follow Rose to the balcony. She raises a hand and points directly into the clear blue sky. She points with purpose, as if to say, there, right there, precisely, is where the green sun would be if it still existed. Casey has a deluxe MTV crib. I meant in-universe, but I could apply it to IRL. As Lord English is not around every timeline, it's just relevant as others, and since they've won just as fortunate. What was I at? The green sun is gone.
What?
It has been destroyed, at least. For the current frame of reference it has, it still existed, and therefore in a way that's hard to explain, currently exists over a nearly infinite span of time, presiding over the birth and death of countless universes. But this universe, our universe, is not one of them.
You saw this in a vision?
No, Jade told me.
She did. How does she know?
She can't draw from its power anymore. No longer has the ability of a first guardian. It has been this way for several years. I suspect she has kept this fact on the down low, however.
That's surprising. Well, that's surprising, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't know. It's not like she tells me a whole lot these days.
It's also not like she's had any particular need to unleash the full fury of the green sun. Not while she's been gallivanting around with Dave and Karkat under whatever perplexing social arrangement they have settled on. Anyway, her account of the sun's destruction syncs up with the data supplied by my visions. I have no doubt it's gone. Oh, this is interesting. This is kind of interesting. I wouldn't say infinite since not literally. I'd say immeasurable length of time. This is an interesting thing for me. Because I was under the impression that, like, would Karkat be okay? What would the implication be? Trying to think what the implication would be. I guess whatever. This is the best word. Phrasing that I would think of. Like maybe Dave just became more open and Karkat somehow changed a little bit. Anyway, on her account, the sun's destruction syncs up with the data supplied by my visions. I have no doubt it's gone.
How did that happen?
It doesn't matter much for our purposes. There was a cataclysmic event, a suicide strike by a very powerful being, much like the one Dave and I attempted once upon a time. But it turned out that the explosive force we released was only a catalyst, a casual gesture. What was needed to destroy the green sun was a consumptive assault.
Consumptive?
The entire sun was swallowed by a supermassive black hole. I digress, though. Jade, Dave, Cat sure is something, no matter how you spin it, or if it means that there will be a suburb/subgrub session that will function like they're supposed to, instead of locking everyone to a loop that serves to bring one Lord English into being. We see Karkat sleeping with Dave, watching TV, and through Instagram sound page, so we knew they're close. Yes, we know that one. See, the weird one is Jade in there. That's the weird one in there in my mind. For how they do it. I think like technically like how the for the Lord English like thing, I think that fully matters for how a suburb/subgrub session. I don't think it truly affected how they functioned, right? They still function the way they were meant to. Because they're meant to propagate the new universe, and it makes sure it happens. That's just like what it does. isn't it? That wasn't Lord English doing anything. Lord English's thing was just making sure. He just made sure that he was needed for everything to propagate, right? Wasn't that his thing? Was that his deal? Or am I wording that really weird? No, Jade was always fixated on Dave, so I think that's the main link, Lamau, and Dave is very emotional. Repressed, I'd say. I suppose because Jade and Dave were a little chatty with Dave making his own persona, and with learning that an alternate world she and Dave's sprite happened, she went for it at Roka, yeah. The sessions in universe were locked onto a single alpha timeline. Isn't the point of like how the suburb sessions function is that there is an alpha timeline, that like that there's one no matter what in that? It's just that Lord English made it so he's needed in that, and the like fully doing like the cycle will eventually just lead to him or something. Wasn't that kind of like more of the implication? I think it seems complicated. Rex 7 was about choosing not to do loop, so I assume Epilogue and Homestuck Mankind is also not about doing a loop. Yeah, but but a suburb session just still leads on to the it is still involving a main timeline, right? When you're like there's a session that's like a fixated thing on it. That's not just because of Lord English, that's just a function of the Insifosphere. Read to find out more of all things at your own risk. Okay. Wait, did I go? I stopped here. You press your eyes shut just for a moment. Behind them you see a black hole so supermassive that it spans the width of eternity. You quickly open your eyes again and pretend to forget what you just saw. There's really no route through this expository garden path that will adequately cushion you from the bottom line. John, you will need to travel back into the canon and defeat Lord English. You shrug and try to look casual. Yeah, very demure, John. Very demure. Nonchalant. Very nonchalant. Dave and Jade had a mutual crush on each other for 13 years, but they only had a brief interaction before getting separated for 3 years. Naturally, it never went anywhere. You pull off the most casual shrug that a guy has ever shrugged when being presented with the inevitability of his own fate. If Rose were looking at you right now, she would be totally convinced that you are approaching this topic with a level of nonchalance that is entirely plausible and genuine. You're sure of it. Jade Cat was also a popular ship. Yeah. Jade Cat? Yeah, okay, that one, okay, sorry, I was like thinking that was weird for a second, but no, I kind of like the parallels on them with the with like the Jade sprite, and then Carcat and his like future selves and shit. I miss Carcat talking to his future and past self.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to come up again someday.
I'm sure we all did. That is, even those of us without visions.
I was doing my best not to think about it. I guess we can't put it off any longer then.
Now is the time. We are rapidly approaching a point of no return. If the decision isn't made soon, it will be too late. The issue will no longer matter.
What exactly is the point of no return?
Today.
Wow. Okay then. First, one question. Why?
Why what?
Why do I need to go back and beat him? I mean, sorry if this is a stupid question. I guess he's a huge, awful monster, and that's just what you're supposed to do with huge, awful monsters. Take them down for their crimes and such. But why does he actually need to be defeated at all, to be honest? It's been years since we've even bothered thinking about any of this, and everything seems...
Take a look around and survey the current status of all life on Earth, which is totally possible to do from the vantage point of a single apartment balcony.
Fine?
Of course everything is fine here. We're outside of canon now.
Yeah, I know. What does that actually mean, though? Are you saying this isn't really happening?
Of course it's happening. But just because certain events take place outside of canon, it doesn't mean those events are non-canon.
Oh,
In other words, there is an important distinction between events which can be considered to occur inside canon, outside canon, and those which are not canon at all. The day we went through that door and claimed our reward, we passed a threshold between continua marked by differing degrees of relevance, truth, and essentiality. Essentiality. Those are the three pillars of canon.
what?
Really, the epilogues and how they are written, but strap in. 'Tis the burden of being in the core of the narrative. They should remind me of my morality, Rose. Very cool. A work that asks you to question what canon itself means. It's Loki, what Homestuck itself was kind of doing. I feel in a certain way. No, it just kind of was too. The whole story, kind of. At least what I was trying to piece certain things together. I forget my model can track that. Rose, shoot, you are an Rose shoots you an irradiated look. Irritated look. I have irradiated steak on my mind, I guess. I guess Jade's just too cool. Rose shoots you an irritated look. You know what that look means. It's reserved for the sort of bozo who just said what once too often. Damn. I'm bozo. Any event said to take place inside canon will have non-zero values of relevance and essentiality, while maintaining an absolute foundation in truth by definition, whereas events outside canon have diminished values of relevance and essentiality, or, for the most part, can be considered neither relevant nor essential at all. But such events can't be said to be untrue either. Instead, it's better to regard their truth value as highly conditional. Are you following? Say, oh, yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, totally.
So to be clear, everything that's taken place here on Earthsea since we exited canon can be considered completely irrelevant and for the most part, absolutely inessential, yet none of it can be called untrue, at least up until precisely today.
Okay, then what does non-canon mean?
Events that are formally non-canon have no truth whatsoever by definition. They may have relevance and essentiality values that are non-zero or even quite high, but only as projections along an imaginary axis, resulting from highly subjective frames of reference. But due to those events having no truth and thus carrying no real weight, the other properties are basically rendered meaningless. You can feel your ego go wide as the gears in your head slow to a stop. The implications of what Rose is saying are as vast as they are completely incomprehensible. Your mind has just been blown. John, are you okay? Your pupils have gone quite wide, thereby facilitating the appearance that your mind has just been blown.
Sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this.
You, of all people, really should have a good intuitive grasp over these concepts already. You're the one with the retcon powers after all.
I know, I mostly get it, I think. I just wouldn't have thought to put it all of this in such a jargony way.
Sorry, that's kind of what I do.
It's fine. I'm just a bit rusty is all. It feels like it's been so long since I did or even thought about anything that mattered at all.
Yes. So real for that one, John. Hussie once said that all fanfics can be considered canon. I think he was giving us all too much power. I love the retcon. Yes, the longer we live outside of canon, the more tenuous our relationship with canon becomes. Hence the urgency.
Then what's going to happen? What's going to happen if we keep dragging our feet?
I mentioned that events outside canon have a truth value that tends to be conditional, remember?
Um,
Well, I did. But let me put it another way. As long as we live outside canon, everything that happens will technically be real, but only conditionally. There are certain crucial events inside canon which must happen in order to continue to prop up the legitimacy of events here on Earth C. As you specifically, John, have a responsibility to make sure those events take place. John, Fu state depression moments, maybe given how many B-days he's left those decorations up. It's just efficiency. No.
and I take it that means we're going back and killing Lord English?
Yes, his defeat is the keystone to this entire continuity. Much like his life, in some sick way, governed the overall design of the bridge which that keystone was holding up. But without it, all of this falls apart. Everything we've been through, in a way that's impossible for a single mind to fully comprehend, becomes retroactively discredited.
So, reality will be destroyed or something? Has that already sort of happened? I mean, were all the black space started cracking?
No, this consequence isn't physical or even a disruption of the timeline. It's more of a conceptual unraveling. If you miss the chance to authenticate canon events, something will take place that's a bit difficult to describe, but I've encountered a term for it. It's called dissipation, like a notional fading, as if something somewhere is undergoing a process of forgetting, and we are what is being forgotten. All ideas, people, and their full potentialities, possible outcomes, and their specific unfolding. All these things live inside conscious frameworks. The further removed we get from authentication of canon events, the less relevant they become, and they slowly fade from the conscious framework which kept them stable. Make a theatrically startled expression. I have a button for that? I don't have a button for that. Oh. I have this button. Oh. That's close enough.
Okay, I guess we don't want that to happen. Or unhappen, whatever. So I just retcon poof back to English and start like brawling with the dude.
Shit. Bringing it back to basics. Kind of what John did first time he saw. Feel bad for him. He never had a chance to learn how to properly handle his trauma and emotional distress, so he's kind of shut down emotionally. Oh. That's... damn, this doesn't scale properly. Saddened me. True, he rocked his shit. He cares a lot, but is going through a filter of apathy. I need John to suffer. I've mentioned that before, and I still stand by it. Don't be ridiculous. You wouldn't last a second. You'll need a team. Also, you don't want to just dive headlong into a battle with his hulking adult form. That would be tactically foolish, and furthermore would skip over some very important steps needed to authenticate canon.
Like what?
I mentioned that English's defeat was the keystone to the continuity, but this was an oversimplification.
Yikes. Well, we sure as fuck wouldn't want that to simplify anything.
John, please don't be a bitch. I'm unwell, remember?
Sorry.
The true keystone, which is a necessary component of his defeat, is the juju. The house-shaped object you stuck your hand in to gain your retcon powers.
Oh yeah.
He had several years to try to go to therapy. Oh, he will. Well, empty. It resembles a gap, like a hole in canon. Those who I guess okay. So like therapy, right? Years of therapy. You technically had a chance to go to therapy, but did they truly? Okay. I guess trolls were there. I trust trolls. There wasn't really humans that were created, right? They're the only humans. Were there humans? No, because they had ecto stuff. So never mind. I just had a thought of thinking how would there actually be like professionals and how certain things like develop. But they had more stuff than I was thinking. For some reason, I was thinking about just the like crocodile guys, the salamanders, those weird cat things. No, those things weren't that. What were they? Was there nothing there on that planet? On that planet? Lofoff? No, not Lofoff. Land of Lolal? Lolal. Land of light and Lorar? Land of light and rainbows? Rain, light and rain and light, something like that. Okay. Gotta like I don't got all the planet names fully memorized, and I had to think about how the planet looked and just start describing it to myself. They created ecto-humans, yeah. True, but he's in a world where he's a known god. I don't know if there's a therapist you feel comfortable trusting with god worship and being involved. Yeah, they'd abuse in the credit, but abuse in the credits. Well, true. Yeah, I don't know how a therapist could be a professional with a deity. It's almost more difficult to get into therapy than you'd think. That's a good question. What are your degrees and PhDs and stuff? What the research Earthsea was left with? Do they have dentists? Lots of questions. What all did they give civilization to build itself with? Lolar, yep. Like getting a referral is easy, but actually sticking with it. Earthsea seems to have as much questions that are expected for creating a universe. A lot of steps for certain things. Yeah. This is where I was at. Well, empty, it resembles a gap, like a hole in cannon. Whose only purpose is to be filled. In serving that purpose, it grants one with the radical cannon-altering powers that would be needed to fill it. Once filled, it becomes solid. No longer a gap, but a serviceable load-bearing wedge in our continuity, like a keystone. And once delivered to English and directed his way, it empties itself again, releasing its narrative bridging payload. It functions as a weapon, and in some manner will bring about his demise.
In some manner?
It's a complicated artifact, as old and unfathomable as anything else in Paradox space, like the Green Sun, or English himself. Don't worry about it for now. The important thing is that in the due course of your travels, you end up loading and unloading this weapon.
How am I going to do that?
Once you set things in motion, it should just happen naturally through the narrative momentum of your journey. I'm really just warning you about it, rather than instructing you.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Earthsea seems to have as much questions that are expected for creating a new universe. Honestly, this stream just makes me think so much that I've never really considered in depth. For the planets, John and had salamanders, Rose, turtles, Dave, it was turtles on the Lolar. Okay, that's why I was thinking turtles at one point in my mind. Crocodiles. Was it iguanas? Wasn't just frogs? Damn. Man, I love those. This Heat Clockwork had like a stock market of sorts. Are they just the Wall Street of? Damn. That'd be interesting. They're just like the Wall Street of everything. You only saw iguanas in the background. Okay. You look at her phone. You recognize Kanai's distinct typing style in the window. Rose's thumbs began to fly across the keypad. She continues to text as she talks. We needed axolotls. Sadly, it came at a time where... Oh, that's not an important email. So it came out of... Too bad axolotl craze came slightly after Homestuck's planets were established and things were there established. John was Lo Was, Rose was Lo Lar, Dave was Lo Hawk, Jade Lo Foff, Jane Lo Ka, Jake Lo Tack, Dirk Lo Max, Roxy Lo Pan. Well, now that you have those ones, you know, might as well have the other. Might as well put the 12 trolls there. Then if the other 12 trolls were different that we know, throw those in there. No.
So, if we're going to go back and kill him in time to authenticate canon, I guess we have to get going soon, like today.
Yes.
Are you sure you're actually up for a fight though? No offense, but you're looking a little worse for the wear.
I'm not going.
Oh.
None of us are. Only you.
What? But you said...
John, this is the victory state.
What the hell does that even mean?
The Alpha Kids concerts don't matter because they're all skeletons. When we went through the door and passed beyond the threshold of canon, we effectively retired from bearing any responsibility or influencing canon events. We've all been sort of decommissioned as active players on the cosmic stage with severely diminished relevance attributes. All of us except for you, of course, since you've retained your retcon abilities.
Okay, I get that, kind of. But couldn't you all just come along anyway?
Karkat, Kanai, and Terezi are the only trolls left, and we saw Terezi looking for Briska in the credits. We could, but it wouldn't serve any purpose. It wouldn't plug up the remaining dark spots in canon. You'll need a group of active players. They're still stuck inside the stream of canonic karma.
Who?
Nothing too extravagant. Just different versions of us. Younger versions from a particularly dysfunctional impasse in our journey. I can point out the exact moment in your canon. In canon, you should be disrupting, and how you should disrupt it. In fact, I've already written it down to spare you the trouble of remembering. Dude, it's bad enough that he has to go back in the game, but now he has to go alone? He gets to go... yeah. Because he's the main character. Oh, you know, did Homestuck have an issue of like... Sorry, I'm thinking of like an issue with like the Madoka Magica third movie, Rebellion, right? And in that movie, they had to remind the staff. It would, I guess, been Homestuck would just be Hussie, but like they had to the director of that movie had to remind everybody that Madoka Magica is about Madoka and not Hamaru, because Hamaru is just the better character in Madoka Magica. Terezi hung around on RC with him for a while before going back to find Briska in outer space. Just wanted to play a game with his friends. That's what they all wanted to do, though, so... Rose leads you back inside and retrieves a letter from her desk. She hands it over, still typing one-handed on her phone. She sits down, and you read the letter. Rebellion, that's so good. Need the new movie already. I needed the new movie years ago.
Huh?
Is anything confusing about my instructions?
No, I remember all this. It shouldn't be a problem. It's just weird to think about revisiting this. It seems like an eternity. Like, we were all completely different people back then.
I assure you, we are all still fundamentally the same bunch of losers. Oh my god, she said it. That's a fan of John talking to Cubit. Damn. John's the kind of guy to accept everything and then make the worst wish possible. Low key, like a worse wish than Like it would, no, what kind of wish would John wish for? It would probably be a semi-selfish wish. But it'd be something stupid. Well, it's not just Andrew anymore on this one. Yeah, but I was talking about previous things. John would be the Madoka of his world, with Dave being Hamaru. Would it be Dave, though? Like, I get Dave because of time, but... would that be Dave? would be the most willing to... I have to rewatch Madoka actually form a better thought on that. I like that. I kind of like the thought. Rose is ultimately right about that. The way she's about most things. You continue to scan the letter and grimace slightly.
Should I really punch her in the face? I felt kind of bad about it. Last time I did that to someone.
Yes, you absolutely should and must punch her in the face. When was the last time you punched someone in the face? Andrew approved the story for sure, and had 3 big requests for the sequel content that we can't share with you yet. One that even caught up fans don't know of yet. Oh, interesting. You punched Vriska. Was Vriska, okay. You exhale and turn the paper over in your hands. The other side is blank. You flip it back over, having fully processed the instructions drafted in the polished purple handwriting. Like how Rose still writes in purple after all these years. Some things never change.
Alright. This seems straightforward enough. I mean, aside from the part where we all have to fight an invincible monster.
Oh, I thought my guy was frozen. He isn't entirely invincible. We'll be vulnerable to Dave's weapon. I believe other gambits should present themselves as well. I don't think it would serve the mission well for me to tell you exactly how it will go. But at least I can offer this bit of encouragement. If you follow my instructions, English will be defeated. It is an absolutely essential outcome. And essential, if you remember, is the word we should be using instead of good.
I guess you're advising we go after him when he's young. I guess that makes sense. Go get him before he gets all big and strong, like kind of a surprise attack.
Sure.
That dude sucks. He was taunting me a while back, like, I think he wants me to come fight him. Anyway, I just ignored him obviously because I'm not a stupid idiot, but I guess today will be his lucky day.
You take a seat next to Rose on the couch. A specific setup for the staff on the epilogue story we know. That is Andrew wrote the storyline. Steve Verbal did the actual final draft with contributions from others. I was talking about the normal Homestuck, but early, like mid. Would it be mid Homestuck? Okay, sorry. This is like this gonna be a weird thought. Okay, so when we consider like Homestuck, we consider like the midpoint of Homestuck to be like page wise, act wise, part wise, or like year wise. Like, is there like a different term for each thing, or just like oh yeah, this year time period, this thing? Is there a time? Is there like a time period for like? Do Homestuck fans consider certain time periods different things? Like, because you have like the pauses, right? Like Gigapause or whatever the other ones were. I can't remember the other ones. Megapause. This is like, is there like the Silver Age of Homestuck, the Golden Age, the Bronze Age? If you split timeline wise, Act 3, Act 3, Gigapause, Megapause. I think I'll build one Act 2. I only know one definite section. Okay. Boom. This how close I was zoomed in? This feels comfortable. I was probably this close. Examine your friend. Her eyes are closed and her hands are folded in her lap. She's not asleep, but she looks wasted. Like all of the life in her has been sucked out through a straw. Like she's insubstantial. When you were kids, you always thought that Rose the Lawn had all the answers. That she could fix any problem with a wall of texts and witty rejoinders. You guess that much about her hasn't changed. She's still trying to solve the problems you all left behind. You can't believe how sick she looks. How did this happen to her? Big 5. End of Act 5, page-wise. End of Act 6 at I3. Halfway real time. I've said that I wish I got into Homestuck earlier. But that's on part I'm glad. But on part I'm glad I missed out on. I don't know how I would be if I actually got into Homestuck when I was younger. Part of me fears that person.
I should probably get going and let you rest. We can talk all about it when I get back. I'll fill you in on how it went. Hopefully you'll be feeling better by then.
Oh, yeah.
Is something wrong?
I'm back. Did I miss anything? Yeah, I finished the entire epilogues. Both of them. Everything. Completely. Caught up now. Fully. Rose opens her eyes and looks at you. But... But she says nothing. Just looks.
I'm not scared if that's what you're worried about. You've already said we're going to defeat him, so nothing to fret over, right?
Yes, you. Something flickers through her eyes, almost too quick to catch. When she smiles at you, it's warm and sincere. You're going to do great. Damn. Good story. Can't believe John Cena was the real villain all along. It was bad for both of them for a reason I can't tell you. There's a tweet from CV that I don't know how it confirms the setup as scrap, but I have to find it again. Rose slides her arms around you. After a while, she releases you from the embrace and gets up to fetch her bottle of pills. She pauses at the bedroom door to look at you one more time. Goodbye, John. She closes the door behind her. Look at the letter. You run your thumbs along the edge of the paper. Is this really it? One hug from Rose and you're off to face your destiny. The instructions in the letter are clear, but you aren't sure precisely what to do next. Inertia and indecision keep your feet planted firmly on the carpet. Then, as if directly answering your quandary, your phone buzzes in your pockets. It's a text from Roxy. Read text. It sounds important. You get up and go without even thinking about it. You exit through the sliding glass door and leave it open behind you. Boom. Okay. I wonder if they're just warming up their car or if they're actually heading out to the gym right now. I wonder if they pick me up an energy drink. Read text. Next page. Oh my god. Page 3 or 3? Prologue 3? I'm gonna call it a page. I assume it's a page. Yeah. Page 3. I am gonna BRB for a quick second. Let me just do one thing. Ba-da-dun-dun. Whoa. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh my god. Oh my god. The keys. Look at 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 the keys. 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 Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Wow. I could watch these things all day, all night. One time I actually watched paint dry. That was a interesting time. I was not in my best years when I did that, but it was fun. It was Trying to think, is watching paint dry a funner activity than staring at your ceiling for endless hours? I don't know. I have watched paint dry with the purpose of watching paint dry, not like working on a project or like a little painting, like just putting a block of paint, like just putting a layer of paint on like on canvas and just watching it dry. It was, you know, people talk about it, so now I was curious on how the actual saying would be in real life, how entertaining it would be to watch paint dry. Watching paint dry is not the worst activity. It's better than better than playing Persona. Am I right? I've only ever played Persona 3 and 4 for like Persona 3. Yeah, 3 and 4 for like 2 minutes each. I don't have a real opinion on those games. One of these days I will. Welcome back. The water hasn't finished boiling. Someone should make this GIF with the keyblades. Why not do both? Watch paint dry on the ceiling. What if paint drips back down? Because you need like a nice layer of it. It can't be like a thin layer, because that actually dries in like a decent time. That'll be done drying in like 15 minutes. You need something that's gonna be drying for a set of time that's kind of annoying. So back on like the idea of John suffering for a moment. So I had another thought on like how John caused suffering for like what, like I don't know, I don't want to say countless, but like I'll say countless, on a countless amount of people, because like Doom, like timelines that didn't do what was gonna happen to lead up to whatever things, right? And he just made that deal with Typhoeus? Certain things, and that essentially caused endless suffering with all those, like all of his friends, like an endless amount. It'd be pretty cool if it also had to cause suffering for even the people who make it outside, who even like progressed with them. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty interesting. That'd be a pretty cool like idea to attack. I worded it kind of bad, but I like that idea. That's something to ponder. I also told my chatlings to not tap the glass, or I'll be staring daggers at them tomorrow. Glad you're here to moderate, though. Also, Roxy, hi. You didn't really get the choice in how the choice played out, though. Yeah, that's a that's a massive discussion on itself, actually, in certain things, because he did, right? There's versions who didn't do it, and those ones are all gone. Those and ones who don't do that, even though it had to have happened, I guess, right? But did it truly? Was that one? Because that wasn't one of the key events, right? In how like Homestuck does things. Because like there's certain key events that need to happen. Was that one that considered a key event before it happened? Before everything? I gotta think. What would be considered key events that like cause the propagation of the next universe, or of just like I guess Lord English too? It's a beautiful day in the Carapace Kingdom, just like it was in the Human Kingdom, and just like it was in in Salamander Village. For whatever faults this paradise you created might have, you sure don't hear many complaints about the weather. You're sitting with Roxy and Calliope on a giant chessboard patterned tablecloth. It's a nice touch, you think. But if you spent any time shopping... I gotta zoom in a little bit, it felt weird to read. Shopping in the Carapace Kingdom, you'd know most things you can buy are chess themed. Friendly Carapaceans go about their day around you, passing through the park with their eyes politely averted as they pretend not to notice that 3 celebrities are having lunch in the grass nearby. It's extra polite of them, because you and Roxy are having a very personal conversation. Ciao. Oh, I guess I can turn this back off. There we go. Oh my god.
She looks alright, mostly just tired. At least she seems to have enough energy to babble at length about philosophical gibberish and things about canon and such.
LMAO, guess she filled you in on all the ultimate self junk then.
The what?
The shit where she starts knowing everything and feeling bad.
Oh, that's not the term she used. She just kept describing it as a condition. You haven't been feeling anything like that, right?
What? Getting to know my ultimate self?
Yeah.
Man, I've barely got a hold of my basic ass self. Yeah, Roxy truly is kind of basic.
Yeah, she said she was the only one going through this that she knew of. Poor Rose. At least, all that medication seems to be keeping her sort of functional.
Roxy gives you a serious sidelong glance. It's so much out of control. The mood. That's a mood. Remember what whole, totally unprovoked spiel Rose gave you about substance abuse?
She said it wasn't like that. I mean, she said it was under control. Well, what the fuck do I know? The only illicit substance I've ever done is lick that stupid trickster lollipop. Never again.
Yeah. What can't say it's much my business anymore. Rose and I aren't as close as we used to be. You nod, sort of knowingly, because you're thinking about how you'd hadn't talked to Rose in ages either. Roxy gives you a quizzical look, but you turn away before she can draw meaning from it. His name is Yogurt Boner. Trickster John's design is fun. Respect. Miriam's been keeping her real busy since they got hitched. They both vanished down the brooding caverns, and that was pretty much that. Only since she got sick and spent more time at home did we start talking more again. It's been great, but our conversations have been a little bit upsetting. Trickster John was the original art. And here it comes. The thing you were trying to avoid thinking about the moment Roxy texted you. About how you hadn't talked to Roxy in ages either. You were having such a nice time ignoring that fact too. Change the subject.
So, are you and Callie still living at the same place I last saw? The one near the tower?
You look towards the bell tower in the distance. It's a Gothic building so tall that it cuts a shadow through the midday sun. It's an important landmark in the kingdom. The tallest structure for miles around, and the only way you can ever navigate your way flying. And the only way you can ever navigate your way here flying. Carapace architecture is otherwise identical, a reflection of their functional collectivist society. Yup.
That's cool. It's a nice place.
Yeah, I like it here. I thought about it, but I'll probably never want to live in a different kingdom. Still feels most at home around the chess guys.
Makes sense. That's about how I feel about the salamanders, which I realize actually makes no fucking sense.
Ha ha.
They lead simple lives. I don't really care for the chaos of human or troll cities.
Neither do we. You watch Roxy smile and reach for Calliope's hand. Look away before you start dwelling on it. You start dwelling on it immediately, looking probably quite conspicuous. There we go. The magic. Oh, I guess that was 4 times. It wasn't 3. 4 magic? Nah, it's probably magic enough with how quickly you whipped your gaze around. But seriously, what is up with their relationship? Is it romantic? Oh, John, Roxy. It actually does make sense. Actually does make sense. The kid grew up isolated, but deal with it in different ways. Egbert's feeling a bit jealous. True. Platonic? Can cherubs even have a romantic relationship? Are they even interested in it? Like, on a fundamental level? Do their brains and hearts even work that way? Questions like this used to keep you awake at night. They kind of keep me awake at night. Like, look at them. And where Roxy's fingers are entwined with Calliope's green claws, Calliope is still wearing the Ring of Light, the same one you obtained in a ludicrous adventure through the afterlife, and then re-obtained in a ludicrous adventure through Kennen when it was stolen from you. It's the same one that allowed Calliope to stop being dead in the first place, and to come live with your friends here on your beautifully renovated home planet. And it's the same one you gave Roxy all those years ago to fulfill a promise made to a special new friend. At the time, how long did... I guess Karkat's an alt alien blood. I wonder how long like red blood trolls would live, but he's like special. I don't know if he counts as an actual low blood. At the time, the gesture felt so important. It felt more meaningful than any gift you'd ever given. Like there was some grand emotional gravitas about it that signified something deeper than what it turned out to be. You have since concluded that you were just imagining things, ascribing symbolic meaning to gestures that they simply didn't carry, like the dumb kid you were. Tactfully avoid saying anything at all about Roxy and Calliope's weird, ambiguous relationship.
So...
But you can't stop thinking about it. What goes on in Roxy's head? What she thinks about you. You and all your friends have dispositions affected by your classes and aspects. You think you know what that means in your case, but what about hers? You can only speculate. Void is a place where things sink and disappear, where they linger forever, but cease to exist. You aren't actually sure if your feelings for Roxy ever really faded, or they just grew numb with time and distance. Is it the same for her? You search your soul for the answer, but to come up empty, the truth is, you suspect her mental interior is unfathomable. In fact, you feel sure of it. You wander suddenly, watching her, this version of her, that is, the one with whom you share all the bitter, sweet memories. Will you ever see her again? Ah. I'd say Callie can feel anything because she's just as sentient as anyone else. Her body might not turn into a giant snake for Roxy. I mean, cherubs do like to hate the people they turn into giant snakes, but that might be more of a cultural thing than a biological thing. I mean, Eros' ace people exist. I wish they expanded more on the disposition affected by classes and aspect part in canon. A cultural thing. I like that framing a little bit. Hmm. That's a good paragraph. Ahem, John.
What?
Please forgive me if I come across as impatient, but if we are finished with the pleasantries, I believe you have a choice to make.
Huh?
The choice as to whether you will go to feed my brother or stay here. Have you decided yet?
There's a choice?
Calliope is smiling brightly, but Roxy's face has no expression at all.
I was just assuming I had to go, because if I didn't then, a lot of stuff will stop being real. Or I mean, stop being canon. To tell the truth, I'm a little confused about what will happen if I don't go. But it sounds like it will probably be bad.
That may be so. We are not here to caution you about the consequences of your decision either way. But there is always a choice. Roxy and I merely wish to invite you here for a nice human picnic and show our support for whichever decision you make. Yeah, I always figured it was the other way around, that John looked at the aspects of the way it assigned meanings to his life and other things, and the others around him instead of the other way around. Pretty sure the cherubs are an asocial species. They're an asocial species. It could be both. To me, it's a relief to finally be doing this.
It is. How much have you actually talked about this? I mean, how many people knew this was going to be a thing?
Just us and Rose. Well, Dirk too, I think. She's been talking to me about it a bunch. And him too, but I don't know how much he's got, like, thoughts about all this shit. But whatever. That's not important or even remotely surprising. Bottom line, Rose has been tormenting herself about having to tell you. I'm just glad she finally said it so she can rest. Now it's up to you. Yes, take all the time you need. Again, we aren't here to influence you. It's very important that the decision come from your desire to go through with it, one way or another. Any tampering could taint the results.
Taint them. Wait, what?
So what it'll be, John. A chill runs through you and stays there. Consider the gravitas of this choice. Oh. Well, that was weird. Sorry, like my ears popped weirdly. You try, but you can't. Because you weren't really prepared for it. You didn't think it was a choice at all until this very second. You think back the way Rose looked at you before she went to bed. What has she told Roxy that she didn't tell you? The chill tightens around your throat and turns into fear. No, not fear. The feeling is worse than that. It's regret. You wasted your time here on this idyllic restoration. You know, actually, how do you pronounce this word properly? Since I'm reading aloud, it's a good time just to figure out how to actually say words fully, I guess. Idyllic. It is idyllic. Okay. Okay. Sheesh. Okay. Idyllic. Dang. Did I read this wrong? Idyllic. I don't want the... Okay, Marion Webster, what do you say? Oh, this might be loud. I'm gonna turn the volume down on stream. This might be loud. Idyllic. There we go. Idyllic. There we go. That's how you say it. Boom. Idyllic. Haha. I lost where I was. Why did you spend so much time alone, moping around the house, mourning your dead father, who probably would have wanted you to get more enjoyment out of your teen years? as well as your unusually early retirement. There's so much you could have done. You could have even reached out to Roxy again. Maybe she was waiting for you to do that. Maybe your withdrawal hurt her. Maybe she was heartbroken, just like you kind of feel right now. You study her perfectly stoic face and conclude nothing from it. Her expression reminds you of how Dave used to look when you first met for real, before years of living with Karkat softened him up. Impenetrable cool. It's too late to figure any of this out now. You fucked it up already. Unless, of course, you choose to stay. Upon further examination, you realize that Roxy's stoicism isn't cold. There's concern there. She is displaying restraint, keeping quiet while you make up your mind. You're sweating. You realize cold sweats, even worse than the anime nightmare sweat you woke up soaked in the morning. John, you okay? Looked like you were gonna pass out there for a second. Suddenly, Calliope bolts upright. Of course, what was I thinking? This decision is far too important to be made on an empty stomach. She fetches the picnic basket, which naturally has been sitting there on the tablecloth since the moment she revives. It would be something vile to eat, like vile for a picnic, actually. Here, before you choose which path you're going to take, you decide what you like to eat. I've packed a wide variety of provisions, easily enough to satisfy even the most ravenous picnic goers' appetites. Behold an array of savory delights for cunningly inclined. Or perhaps something for your sweet tooth, if a lust for treats is what stokes your desires. Calliope produces 2 dishes from the basket and begins gingerly unwrapping them. The unwrapping is so ginger, in fact, that there's something almost dramatic about it. Like the opening theme to that boring sci-fi movie with the monolith and the bone-throwing monkey should be playing as she peels away the cheesecloth. On one plate is a pile of meats, rare, almost bleeding cuts from animals you can't identify. The other plate holds a generous heap of colorful, exotic-looking candy. You scoot to the side and peek into the basket to see if there's anything else. There's a book in there, but no more food. This is all there is. Contemplate your lunch. Well, if he's been having those nightmares every night since arriving on Earthsea, I blame him for withdrawing. It probably left him even in an even deeper depression. I can, though. I can. 20. Yeah. Kinda. What's the terms I want to use? I can't think of the right words. Maybe I'll come back. I'll come back on that. Rare meat. I like medium rare and rare meat. But I don't like raw meat. Actually, I've never had tartar. Tartar seems interesting. What is tartar again? Is that just like that meat, oil, salt, pepper? There's just meat, oil. What is beef tartar? This is a weird thing. Hold on, give me one weird. What is in beef tartar? Finely chopped shallots, capers, cornicons, fresh parsley, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, olive oil, and raw egg yolk. Oh, okay. Gosh, that looks. Ooh, man, that does not look fun. Does not look fun. The part about lots of people dying. Contemplate your lunch. Contemplate your lunch. You put a finger to your lips and focus on the food with great intensity. You stop fretting about choices and heartbreak and eternity and Lord English. Your entire world narrows to a single point of light as you are utterly consumed by the overbearing decision about which of these absurd meals to have for lunch. Meat or candy? Meat or candy. The 2 possibilities pinball around your skull. Meat or candy. It's a tough choice. On any other day, you might be inclined to simply follow the whims of your cravings, but no clear victor surges to the forefront of your mind. Either option offers tempting means of sustenance. You know the meat will be rich and filling, and if you are being honest with yourself, you haven't had the most robust diet as of late. You didn't even have breakfast. It's probably a good idea to eat something resembling a real meal for once. But you're no stranger to Calliope's tastes. As far as carnivorous comestibles are concerned, you know every cut on that plate is rare to the core. It'll fill your mouth it'll fill your meter candy, John Egbert. Meter candy emotes. Regular choice, John suffers. Meter candy. Oh my god. We love it when John suffers. Well, I love it when John suffers. It'll fill your mouth to bursting with juices. Lie heavy on your stomach for hours to come as your body works to break down all the nutritious protein and fats. It might be tough to chew, it might be tougher to swallow. Maybe the candy is the best choice for a picnic like this. Something that'll go down easy and fill you up with bright energy as you pass the time with your friends. You know you need to just let go sometimes and stop worrying so much about what other people expect of you, or even what you expect of you. It's not a bad thing to enjoy yourself just for the sake of pleasure, but eat too much and all that sweetness could make you sick. Roxy and Calliope glance at each other in confusion as you deliberate over what to eat. You suppose it's taking you a while to choose, but each dish is appealing enough in certain ways. Each has potential dietary drawbacks. You don't want to make a decision you can't stomach. Meat or candy? John, meat or candy? You release your breath when you realize you've been holding it in. You're being ridiculous. What's the sense of fussing over lunch? In the end, it really doesn't matter. Whatever you choose, it'll all be flushed down the toilet tomorrow. Just go with your guts. Don't sweat the small stuff. There are much more important things out there to fuck yourself up over. Choose meat or candy. Meat or candy? Wow. Finally. So this is the choice. OMG. Oh my god. The choice. What do you pick first? Meat. YouTube chat poll if there's one. That took most of the stream just to get you there. Just go with your gut. Don't sweat the small stuff. That's a good point. That's a good point. I think this has to be Berg choice. Neither John. Neither. And let John starve. I did meat first because left to right through my OG read. You know what? I will do a poll. I don't know if I'll abide by what the poll says, but I'll do it. I don't know. Meat? Candy? There we go. That'll be fun. Or at least with the rest later. So I did ask my I guess the two main Homestuck guys I talked to about what I should do. One of them said they recommend meat, but then to be annoying, they said, "Oh, I don't know, actually. You know, do what you feel, do what you want, do what you want, do what you want, really." And then my other friend said to do whatever the left choice was. So I can choose what like my friend said now, or I can be the contrarian I am and do what the opposite of what they said. So I guess younger me was more of a contrarian. Oh. Nope. Yeah, younger me was more of a contrarian. So this came out in, when did this come out actually? Go back to the top. Does this say when it came out and ended? So this came out in 2019. I was kind of still an annoying person. Very annoying person. More annoying than now, perhaps. That's an interesting. That was probably just done on purpose, though. Mirroring candy made the reveals meat so much better. The way I did it myself was start with meat, then went back and clicking candy, then went back and forth. Same. That exit pages, prolonged release. Okay. So. And this is towards the end of the stream, too. So I guess this is the end of the stream. There would be like. I guess it would make sense to go for the next one, huh? Both will connect by the end of the routes. There's no wrong answer. Like I said, I didn't read all of meat first. Yeah. It's like a find out later type of thing. I do lean towards candy just because based on what they said on here. But my friends did recommend meat though. One who had no idea what the options were, just said the left option. I could listen to them. Contrarian Berg, never. I've grown past that phase of my life. Truly have. No. I definitely won't start this actually for this one. Okay, pick candy or I destroy you. Or you destroy me. Oh. Up to you. I just know what you're getting into with your diet choice. Go through Evers winning the poll right now. Shit. Do I read like one word from each back and forth? One word at a time? Is that the true way to read this? That's what 50-50 means, right? I feel like that is. Go pick candy or I destroy you. That's winning me over a little bit. It's back and forth. At a good switching points. Yeah, it is the 2-hour mark though. 50-50 means it's up to you. Dang. Switching is probably the worst way to read. Think you might start one of them today? It's up to you, Prof. Just pick one and rock with it. Coin flip time, maybe. Coin flips don't matter. I'll probably go with candy. Probably the one, or I get destroyed. So that's probably the best way to do it. I can't risk that. Switching is peak way to read it. Yeah, but I don't want you to experience peak. Peak? What would be peak? I can't think of a good anime. I like to think about anime a lot. I do think I will lock in the choice at a later time. Oh my gosh. OMG. Wow. I am leaning towards candy. I think candy will probably be the choice I do first. Will probably be the one I do first. Just saying, like a well-balanced meal. A well-balanced meal is just a raw chunk of meat. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Meat doesn't give you the proper vitamins. Doesn't give you certain things you need. A raw chunk of no, it's a raw chunk of meat and candy. Good side point. Like that actually seems worse than just picking one or the other. Like wise actually. How bad would you feel after that? Just eating raw candy and raw meat and candy. Nah, that's probably what rich people do. That's probably like a rich people diet. Like genuinely. I think cliffhanger is the bane of our narratives. It's a yummy. Okay, and then little different than in the original release, we had to wait for the routes a day or two after prologue. You grab the candy into a good seasoning. Ooh, I don't know about that one. Maybe it was like tahini or something. It's a fun thing post-canon fix like to do. Is add a third choice. It was a week. It was a week. Wow, a week is such a coincidence. Wow. I plan on reading the next section of the epilogues next Wednesday and keeping it a one-day thing because I'm trying to get through some other things. Wow, a week sounds like a coincidental time. There's a made-up pumpkin route. You're about to evaporate. Ah. You with a laser. Bam. B? Yes. So epilogues are a weed joke. Oh, are you going to start Act 3 demo? Or one of the fan fictions? So, actually, you know what? I have this pulled up right now. I'm zooming back in. I'm taking that part back. Done. Damn, none of these are that. Oh, well, since there's more people here now, this is random. I'll just set that there for a peek, and I'm gonna go back to this. Back to this. Oh, actually, I'm gonna pull that away because I have something in there that I don't have ready to show. Actually, this Canva is made specifically just for this. This Canva account's made specifically for this use case, but sometimes I do put stuff that I'm not fully ready to show. This is kind of the timeline I was looking at. OMG. Epilogues, Wednesday. Oh my god. Friday, I was gonna start Hive Swap. I was gonna play the Hive Swap Act 3 preview. Fully check that one out. That one has me curious. I have mentioned that Hive Swap Act 2 was actually kind of disappointing. I do gotta go back to it though. I did play it in a weird way, in a weird state of mind, kind of, just because like inebriated in a sense. But it was kind of disappointing in some of the ways stuff played out in like the game. It didn't feel like a continuation of Hive Swapped Act 1. And that's like my only complaint about really Act 2, and the way the ending puzzle was. The final puzzle was kind of just, okay, cool. Fucking click around, it's goofy. That's both my biggest issues with that game. But I wanted to check out that, and then I wanted to start Wizardy Herbert. Oh my gosh. Hussie's world-renowned, famous Harry Potter parody that was unfinished. Oh my god. Oh, you were high during the Jaden Teal trial. I was high towards the majority of the beginning of that game, until I got to the Teal trial part. Then I was like, damn, okay, let's not play it that way. Rose's famous wizard story. Nice, yes. I wanted to check this out. I'm a little worried to see how language choices Hussie uses in 2004. Little curious, but I want to check this out. This way I can connect with Roxy more. How can I trust Roxy? How can I like Roxy if I don't like her, the media she enjoys, you know? What do you plan for Monday after? Monday? Monday, nothing. Tuesday, go back to music. I like the Homestuck music. I gotta get through the Homestuck music. And I don't really like the idea of like doing something else while listening to it, because then that defeats, in my mind, defeats the purpose of trying to focus directly on the music. And Sunday is Wizardy Herbert. Oh. Sunday will be Wizardy Herbert, Detective Pony, going probably back and forth maybe. Already finishing one or the other. They're both like semi-long. Wizardy Herbert, I believe, is like 240 pages. Epilogues once a week is kind of wild, but respectable. I think, I guess I don't know how long the epilogues are. So once a week was kind of what I was thinking, based on something one of my friends told me. Just like lengthwise. So I think it like makes it would fit into like a few streams, or just like they said 2. I don't think it fit 2 at all, right? But maybe 3 or 4 would be it. I'm hoping for 3, right? So this be 1. then maybe being able to do like one for candy and then one for meat. I think once is good since Beyond Canon still is ongoing, so you can take your time with it. Yeah, but we'll fill the slot after both are finished. You'll need a week to mentally and emotionally recalibrate as well. Maybe. And then I'll be checking out Vast Air and then Burn Down the House on that next Friday. These two have me curious. And then back to and then here are some other things. I've mentioned these a few times. Other things I want to check out after the epilogues. I believe these are the next chat things I want to check out. Plus, they're 19 words, so adding 20% of the original story's word count. Okay. Yeah. So I think this was my play. Something like that. Would take you like half a year if you read at this pace. IMO. Well, it's not like it's gonna end in half a year. No. I don't know. For the stream alone, it will take you 20 streams to finish. Like, they're not the epilogues, right? Or the epilogues. I doubt that. Really? Wait, boom. Nah. Oh, one thing about Pesquis is some things that are mentioned in starting parts of Beyond Canon when it was Homestuck 2. Oh, okay. I will have to ask one of my lads more about certain things then. I do want to check out Hussie's clown game. I don't know if it should take over the Wednesday spot though, but I want to do like Homestuck stuff, like the main, like I want to say main stuff, but I don't want to like cut off this. That makes sense. No, I have to figure that out. I forgot about that. I think huge with some things that are first mentioned there. Okay. Oh my god, it's Homestuck. OMG. Oh, Homestuck's the GOAT. Here you go. If you never read Homestuck, here's the ending images. We love Homestuck. Look at this. This was the best. This only someone who knows game would have had this up there. There we go. This quest has a character design spoiler, and that is on the first like 5 pages of Homestuck Beyond Canon. The lore is only epilogue stuff. Plus, notes can take over Tuesdays. Good. Which I mean, I don't remember if it had spoilers. Fuck, Homestuck was good. Sorry, I have Homestuck stuck just on my mind. Oh, and then I mentioned this the other stream when I did it, but here's like my thoughts on how the characters look in Vast Air in like a tier list format. I feel like it's gonna hold up well when I read it too. I gotta read Homestuck on my own time sometime. I enjoyed it very much. And these 3 also have a thing called boom. Oh, I don't have it popped up anymore. Oh. Can I just type in Hero Bound? Yeah. Oh, I gotta get on that Vast Air too. Yeah. And this is the same 3 people who worked on this. Where that's at? So this one's curious to me. And because it's Vriska's like right there on the first picture, and Vriska's so cool. I love Vriska. Vriska's great. But I don't know. I don't know how Vriska fully makes me feel. I'll end that poll. Sometimes idea I might consider with the shorter content stuff to keep a good pace. Vriska is your fave. Vriska's a great character. This is from 2012, fully 2012 too. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't finish this. Dang. Dang. Okay, I'll fix this another time. All the characters, including Homestuck, being kind of fun. This is my most updated list of Homestuck. I meant to have all of this set up. I said that last time, and I forgot to finish this. That's a shame. I'm gonna pick like 2 random numbers. Let y'all see. It doesn't work as well if I can't see the bottom though. Sad. Here we go. Who's there? There you go. Crowbar's in the B tier of currently. Ruby Online. Okay. Oh, cool. I'm zoomed out. Okay. Boom. Boom. 1G. Crowbar. Briscoe was A tier, but Briscoe was second best character. Ooh. 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 Ooh, Sunfire. I don't. Ooh. Sorry. Crowbar, my beloved Crowbar, is my fave felt right now. This? Okay. I think I have the. That's Clover, who's freaky. Clover reminds me of the con people I meet, kinda. No, it just actually does. Well, okay, it's really surprising talking to people who go to conventions who are around my age. Very interesting folk. Much more interesting than I would say. They're like they're like special event people you meet once a millennia. I have way too many favorite characters, but John as a character is extremely beloved to me. I can never not be a Jade ride or die. I think epilogues once a week makes sense. I will probably annoy my friends a little bit. On probably maybe a better idea. Let's see. Jane, best character, in all of Homestuck, best girl, best character. Yeah, I need to throw that out there. Jane, the blue girl herself. So is it 1 chapter per week or 2? I have to figure out how long it's probably gonna take me to read it. That might change up kind of the order on days I read it. Maybe I might add an extra day on it. I will have to talk to my counsel. I have to consult the council, and that's gonna feel like the that South Park episode where they throw the chicken in the ring without its head, and it lands on a random thing, and it lands on Bailout. But it's a different length, so yeah, the council. Okay. Hey, based on your stream, take you 20. There's a lot of chatter this stream. I need to figure out how much I actually do kind of go off. You might get better in a few streams. Might be swifter in a few streams on that. Maybe. And the idea of John suffering, like if it's played well. Sorry. I'm just worried. I'm kind of worried. I'm worried how they're gonna take some of my beloved characters in the story. In like Homestuck. Because I can see Homestuck characters being played out in a certain way. And based on some of the tags, are like in some of like this stuff. I'm a little worried on how my beloved characters are going to be. I guess my favorite, like one of my favorite characters, right, has been Dirk, and I'm scared of what's gonna happen if something happens with Dirk. Dirk, Vriska. I feel like Vriska probably nothing wrong will happen to Vriska. There's Vriska Terezi and certain things on that. If that does happen in the epilogues, it might not, right? Because this story is about John. And I'm also so it'd be Dirk, Vriska, Caliborn are things I'm interested in the direction they take about thingy-majigs. And I can see them either. I can see them being turned into like at least Dirk more into like a villainized role. I've mentioned that kind of before. He seemed like he could be a villain after one of my friends mentioned that in a chat. I thought about it a little more, and that caught my attention a little more. I hope John Egbert shows up in this. Fuck, I love John Egbert. Okay, actually, okay. I need to show one thing. My favorite John Egbert panel. When's he do it? When's he do it? Is it here? It would be. When's my favorite John Egbert panel? It was way before this, wasn't it? I don't want to be like too loud. If I could like click and clack, it was after this. It was after this. I'm just an idiot going way to the beginning of the Homestuck. It's a mixed bag. I like some concepts better than others. Click clackety clack clack. This is my wait. Oh, I have noise cancellation on. Oh, I turned noise cancellation off now. Now you can hear my clickety clacks better. Welcome to my ASMR stream where I click one key on the keyboard. Oh, I'm clicking a second key. Alright. This is the coolest thing in my mind John Egbert has done. Nothing John Egbert has done has outdid this. Like Ultimate Self and the Fantastic Disaster. I like all of it. This right here, the coolest shit John Egbert has done. He's slick with it. He's slick with it. You do have to use your imagination a little more with like certain things, but it is cool. It is cool. You just gotta use your third eye, your mind's eye with this GIF here. Last we saw, Vriska was Lord English, so presumably if we go meet, we see her. I said knowing if that's true or not. I thought it was when he was imitating Nick Cage. No. This is the coolest possible point for John. See, okay. I much prefer the Vriska that got dumped by Mina over Vriska, a new Vriska. Real Vriska versus pre-Vriska, I guess. She did the Juju thing and something went forward towards English. I prefer the Vriska that got dumped. That's my opinion so far. At least in the confines of the Homestuck comic, it's the original comic, right? I prefer that Vriska. That Vriska kind of like goes into like a nothingness state in kind of. Ooh, I like it. Like Vriska after the fact is just, it's still Vriska. It's just Vriska. That's kind of like how I see Vriska after the retcon, the Ret John stuff or whatever. It's just, that's just Vriska. That is the same Vriska in that we just know. That's the Vriska from just Vriska. She kind of just always acts like Vriska acts. It's just she's in a different situation. So she's so her reactions and actions towards things are different because she can't change certain outcomes in my mind, I guess, at least. And I find it less entertaining because it's just, I see it as just being Vriska. It's still Vriska. I feel like there's less of a less internal things, I guess, in certain aspects. She does rectify. I don't know if rectify is the right term, but she does show certain things too. Fuck, I love this gif. I want to see Vriska in more situations that challenge her character. Yeah, that's things I like. That's really what I want. It's a shame John's no longer my favorite Homestuck character. I want to see Vriska. They're probably caught up with it, I assume. I think I'm trying to think of everything else to wonder about. I think I'm done. It is about almost 9 p.m. and I have to cook food, and my food will be ready. And if I don't make rice, I could eat in probably like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But if I want to eat rice, it'll probably be an hour plus. Rice or bread. What carb is the carb of my soul tonight? This is the true dilemma. I am in my meter candy dilemma IRL. Low key. Savory mints. I just want to see Vriska more. And I'll have to figure that out on my own time. And then I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna go for like meter candy. I am leaning towards candy, but I don't really know. I think this is a good. Yeah. So, okay. So I'll continue. Epilogue. Okay. Next epilogue stream will be next Sunday, 100%. Then after that point, depending on how long pacing goes, I may change up my plans. On that. Friday I'm gonna check out Homestuck Act 3. I really do hope Homestuck Act 3 brings in some more aspects I liked in Act 1. Act 2 removes some things I liked, but I feel like that's just from like a messy development cycle. I looked into it a little bit. Seemed like it was just kind of like a mess. So Act 3, I hope, brings back my love. Act 1. And then Sunday, I'll be... I forgot what I said for Sunday. I had it on my mind and I'm blocked out now. Oh yeah, Wizardy Herbert on Sunday. God, that has me excited actually. I wanted to read Wizardy Herbert like months ago, to be honest. Okay. So I do think this is my actual end to stream now. I gotta finish a Protective Pony. I keep putting it off. Okay. This is, yeah, for realsies now though. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching me read the epilogues and kind of looking at it. And I'm gonna say one thing. I feel like I've gotten better at reading aloud. I felt like I didn't struggle as much there. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and Bye.